Hello, hello. Welcome back to day 2 of Creativity Week. I'm Jen Pittabach with By the Shore Stamping, and today we are talking all about inspiration. And let me tell you, inspiration is actually everywhere. And I know sometimes as scrapbookers we get kind of holed up in our little scrapbook room or our craft room if we're card making, and we just run out of ideas, right? We're just like, what do I do with all this paper, all this stuff? So I'm here to help you kind of start thinking a little bit more about what other ways you can find inspiration. Of course, we all know, Pinterest and YouTube and blogs and magazines and things like that. Those are kind of the normal staples for finding inspiration, right? So I also included in your workbook for day 2, I included my 3 favorite podcasts and my 5 top sources of inspiration on a daily, like a regular basis. So today I want to talk a little bit about some other ideas you might not have thought of. In fact, as part of the challenge, I'm going to give you 2 additional little freebies, 2 additional little workbooks or ideas for you to have 5 everyday life scrapbook inspirations, because I think a lot of us tend to scrapbook, events or trips or birthdays and holidays and all the kind of staple things that are pretty much the same every year. And not that that's not a great thing to document, because they do change year to year, right? Everything will kind of give you a fresh insight into what was in and what was cool and, how grandma was doing and all of that kind of stuff. But I think sometimes we can go a little bit deeper with our documentation, and that's really the passion I have. I love being able to document more of everyday life, because I think those, when I look back at the pages that I've done, those are the ones that I find the most interesting. So I gave you 5 everyday life inspiration ideas on our little worksheet here. So be sure to check that out in your email. And if you have not got my emails, make sure you click the link in the description of this video so you can join the email list and get all of the resources for the rest of the week, because I am not done. I have lots of fun things to share with you this week. Also, I gave you 10 pictures to take to inspire you in your craft room. So this is one of my favorite techniques to do. I have a whole phone. I was going to hold it up, but I'm looking at it, so I can't. So I have a whole phone full of inspiration photos. So a lot of times I just go to my camera roll when I'm feeling uninspired for card making. So on the freebie for today, I gave you 10 pictures to take to inspire you in your craft room. And there, while you're out and about, one of my very favorites is Target. I love Target, you guys. I love Kohl's, I love Target, but I love Target because, I don't know, just the colors and the vibe and the patterns and the textures on not just their clothes, but on so many fun things like their stationery aisle and their seasonal aisle and all that kind of stuff. So I'll snap pictures in there because I feel like sometimes the color combos or just the textures, things like that, really inspire me when I go home. So I will often do that. The pocketbooks, you guys, pocketbooks are a great inspiration for me. I've actually been known to take pictures of people's pocketbooks while I'm out and about. I do that with clothes too. Like I'll be like, oh, that shirt looks like it's Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay and Calypso Coral. I'm going to take a picture so I remember to put those colors together, right? So whether it's something texturally that's inspiring you while you're out and about, or just the colors, or just the vibe. So another place I love, and these are both on the freebie today, is when I go for a walk. Like sometimes nature itself will inspire me, whether it's just, the waterfall or the beach, because we have a lot of beachy stamp sets. We have a lot of naturey kind of vibe for our stamps. So I love trying to recreate nature, because really you can't get any more beautiful than that, right? So kind of when you're out and about, think about what kinds of things you stop and give you pause, whether it's a flower or, a particularly interesting bug or whatever. But you want to be able to stop and kind of see what's around you. One, it's just great because it makes you live in the moment, right? And that's what we're trying to do, I think, as scrapbookers. I tend to try and do that. Like, I want to remember the moments, and they're not always these monumental, big, pivotal moments that we want to remember, right? We sometimes just want to remember what life was like in 2021 or 2022. I think I'm, maybe I don't want to remember what life was like in 2021 or 2020 or 2022 is getting a little bit better. But, those are all things that we want to document, though. Even, jokes aside, 2020, I mean, that was just a monumental year that will live on forever. And I have kids and grandkids now that I'm married into them. But before, when I was just scrapbooking for myself, I still documented a lot of myself and a lot of my thoughts and my reflections and my thinking, because I didn't have kids or grandkids. So my thought when I was documenting is these books are going to live on long after I'm here, right? And it's just a glimpse into history. So somebody would find them, and even if they don't know me, it's still going to be an interesting fact for them to be able to look at and see, hey, did you know that in 2022, the most popular show was whatever it is, right? In my life, it would probably be Married at First Sight or Chicago Fire. But, those are the two that I'm watching all the time. But those are things that they won't know then if we don't leave that record, right? So I just feel, I think it's because my mother always instilled a sense of history and, being appreciative of where we came from, that I love to be able to document these things. And whether or not anybody finds them in the future, it just makes me feel better. And the ones that kind of document me through the years, it's very interesting to go back to, right? So 10 years ago, a layout that I did about me will be very different than a layout about me this year, right? So try and think about those kinds of things as well when you're scrapbooking. And like I said, when you're card making or just looking for general inspiration, I find nature and retail stores and just being out and about with other people very inspiring, because it gives me just different perspectives on fabrics and textures and things. So definitely be looking for that inspiration today. And that is your challenge for the day. So I want you to snap a picture today anywhere you're out and about, even if it's in your house, look at the things in your house a little bit more differently. Is there like a picture that you love that, might inspire you to document either that picture, or maybe you're going to pull those colors and make something. So kind of look at everything today and find that one picture that really makes you want to run to the craft room and do something fun and creative. And then post that picture in our group and tell us what was inspiring to you. What was it that made you be like, this makes me want to go create something? And we would love to know that. So that is your challenge for the day. And then of course, as I mentioned the other day, your workbook is clickable. So there's also links in there to the Stampin' Up! Catalog, to the Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine, Becky Higgins, Page Maps. Becky Higgins is very inspiring. Sometimes I'll screenshot some of her stuff because she actually did a reel recently of one of her very first albums. And I was like, oh, that's such a fun thing to do. So I may do that in the future just to show you all where we came from. And I encourage you to do that here in the group if you want to. Share where you came from. Share one of your first projects. Share your favorite project. Like I said, this group is yours all week. So we want to see and encourage and be inspired by everything you're doing now and in the past. So we are here for it. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have a very inspirational day, and we will see you again tomorrow for day 3, where we're going to talk about imitation. All right, have a great day. Bye.